What's up people, it's Destiny and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, hello, welcome. Glad you came to the party. You know, you're a little bit late, but you know, it's okay, it's okay. There are drinks by the counter right there. So get a drink, take a seat, sit back, enjoy. You're gonna have tons and tons of fun because today I'm gonna be talking about the Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation by Laura Mercier, and I'm also going to be talking about the accompanying primer that comes with this foundation. And I received these two products in a influencer beauty box. Can you see this? This is the box, was sent to me complimentary of influencer. So I'm just going to be talking about it today. So if you would like to know if this Laura Mercier foundation is worth the buy, then stick around. So, like I said before, I received two products from Influencer's Beauty Box, and they're both Laura Mercier. One's a foundation primer and the other is a foundation. So I'm going to try them together because, you know, certain foundations are meant to go with the primers. Like, they're supposed to, like, you know, coincide like this. So we want to make sure that we get the best out of the foundation by trying it with the primer. Starting with the primer, we have... I'm getting notifications. Let me silence my phone. It comes in a package like this. It is 1.7 fluid ounces, so that means you can travel with it in your carry-on luggage. And it looks like this. The foundation primer is a lightweight, water-based, vitamin-rich gel that creates the perfect canvas for makeup application. Put it on the back of my palm here. It has a kind of like pinkish tint to it. It does say it's water-based, so it feels like a water-based lotion, if that's the consistency of it, if that makes sense. It feels actually really hydrating. I know a lot of primers that feel sticky and feel dry, even though they're cream, they feel like they're dry going onto your face. But this feels like literal water that I'm putting onto my face. I can get dry in areas, but then like throughout the day I can get oily also. But I'm more dry than I am oily, if that makes sense. So I like hydrating primers or anything hydrating, any hydrating products for makeup. Like, I like dewy foundations over matte foundations because of the dryness that I get. As it's drying, it's feeling a little bit tacky. By tacky I mean like it's not sticky, but it feels like a little bit like a film almost, if that makes sense. Like a light film going on, which I think feels like a good thing because then that means the foundation will be sitting on top of the primer instead of on your skin. It says the Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation delivers a natural weightless finish with medium to full coverage that looks luminous in any light. 15 hours of hydration, available in 30 shades. That's good. 30 shades is good. You know, ever since Fenty Beauty came out, started changing the game. Everyone wants to up their shade range, and I'm with it. Definitely with it. Work in small sections, press and blend foundation into skin. Okay, I mean, yeah, I guess it just says, how to use it. I don't need to know. But the shade that I received is 3W2, the color golden. This is the package, by the way. It comes with 1 fluid ounce. This is what we looking like. It's a glassish bottle. It looks very sleek, very expensive like. Here we are. And as you can see, this is not my shade. I did try this out prior to filming this video. I like swatched it, blended it in and whatever. And yes, it's too light for me. I look like a ghost with this on, which sucks. But I'm going to be talking about the coverage of it. So I'm gonna put it on and I'm gonna try to make it work by contouring the hell out of my face so that I don't look like a ghost, because we don't want no white face and scandals up in here. I'm just trying out the foundation. So I put like 3 pumps on my sponge and I'm just going to dot, I guess, around my face and then blend it in, as you can see. So basically what I'm doing, a side note, if you guys ever want to know, like if you ever buy a foundation that's too light for you and you want to know how to like basically find a use for it, you can of course mix it with the foundation that is darker to use it, or as I'm going to show you in this video, you can just contour to bring back warmth to your face. I'm not too concerned about blending it down to my neck because it's not gonna match my chest or my neck anyway, as you can see. As far as the, I don't know, the consistency of this foundation goes, I feel it's not, it feels kind of matte. It feels like it dries down to a matte finish, but it didn't apply in a matte finish. It was more creamy when it applied, but it definitely dries down because I feel like if I go back to try to blend out this part, it doesn't really move as much. So you definitely need to work fast. It kind of reminds me of the Fenty Beauty foundation because that one dries down really quickly. That's probably why the instructions said to like work in small sections. My skin kind of looks a little bit dry, if I'm being honest. Like, so disregard the fact that I look like a ghost. This is the coverage of it. This kind of gives me a little bit of a gray undertone. Even though this isn't my color, and I know that it's not my color, so don't come for me in the comments telling me that it's not my color, because I know. It feels kind of gray because I'm imagining someone who is this color using this foundation is kind of, do you see what I mean? Like, look at my face and look at the color. Like, it's not the same. Yeah, even like if I have this here, if I'll just swatch it on my wrist real quick, this is what I would want it to look like on my face, like more yellowish. And even like when I blend it out on my wrist, which I'm doing right now, it kind of, it's not as white as my face looks. It's kind of more yellow tinted, so I don't know where the disconnect is. Like I said before, when I first applied it, it was really white and blinding almost, but now it's oxidizing to a darker color, so it's not like, yes, there's still a stark contrast between my face and my chest, but it's less of a contrast than it was before. So I feel like there is some oxidizing time. As it dries, it gets a little bit darker, and I'm going to show you how this foundation is actually going to work once I do work my magic on it, right? This is the shade Deep. I'm going to take the contouring end, and I'm just going to contour where I want my warmth to come back. And yeah, so I'll just do it real quick. So the good thing about this is that because the foundation is so light, I won't need to do my brightening under eye concealer because this is brightening enough. I'm just gonna blend this out and you're gonna see the magic happen. But we're not done quite yet, so I'm going to take a setting powder that is my complexion. This is like literally my skin tone. This is the Flower Light Illusion Perfecting Powder, and it's in the color Caramel. And I'm going to take a brush, and so I'm going to set everything with a color that is my complexion. So I'm going to make the light foundation look a little bit darker by doing this. So here we are. I'm basically done with the foundation application. So what I'm gonna do is finish my makeup off screen and come back to talk to you guys about how I feel about the Laura Mercier foundation primer and the accompanying foundation. So now we are back in action. I finished my makeup off screen, and so now this is the finished look. I'm gonna zoom in. The application at first was a little bit tricky because the color on my face was vastly different than the color of the rest of my body, so I was a little bit discouraged when I found out that it wasn't a match, but there are 30 shades in the collection, so I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to find something that's a little bit more suitable toward my skin tone. And like I said, the foundation kind of did have a drying darkening effect. And to show you the difference is I did swatch the color on my hand a little bit earlier, and it has now dried. Okay, so this is the color as it is when it's first applied, and this up here is the color once it dries. You see there's a stark difference between the application color and the actual color that it will show up on your face. That's something you need to keep in mind when you are shopping for it, because it does have a drying effect. Like now you can kind of see that this is getting a little bit dark to here, And to me, I think that the color kind of dries down to a different undertone. When it first applied, it looked more golden, and now this looks more like grayish neutral, like a neutral with a tint of a gray tint. That could just be the color that I got. It could just have that neutral type undertone. There might be other colors that have warm undertone, cold undertones or whatnot. I didn't receive that, so I can't speak on those. I'm gonna say this is medium to full coverage because I can see a little bit of my skin coming through, but it's not like super thin, or it wasn't a sheer application. It did go on a little bit thick. So the foundation claims to hydrate, visibly smooth, soften skin, and provides 15 hours of moisturization. I do not feel like this foundation is moisturizing on my skin. It's not fully matte foundation, but it does dry into a powder-like finish. So because of that, I don't feel like it's moisturizing or hydrating as it claims to do. So I don't think it's going to provide 15 hours of moisturization, but I am going to check to see if it does so. So I'm going to go and do my daily activities, and I'm going to come back and show you guys how it looks. I'm not going to stay for 15 hours because it is already pretty late. It's like 6 o'clock at night. So I'm going to come back maybe around 11 and see what happens. So I'm back. It's now going on 5 hours since I've had this makeup on. It's almost 11 o'clock at night, and it looks pretty much the same as it did before. Only thing is that I did get a little bit more oily around here. I tried not to reapply any powder or anything like that. I try not to do that just so I can see the testability of the foundation. My lips are crap because I was eating, but the foundation retails for $48 and the primer retails for $38. Now, here are my collective thoughts. The primer I really liked. I really liked that it was water-based, which is a primer that I've never seen before unless I'm using like a priming setting, like a priming spray. It did dry down into a little bit more like a tacky film on top of your face, so I feel like that's actually beneficial for when you put on your foundation because it will be on top of the primer instead of on top of your skin, which is good for if you're trying to protect your skin and not worry about breakouts and all that stuff. The foundation does dry into a darker color, so keep that in mind if you are looking to get this foundation. I'd recommend going to a Sephora in store so that you can you know, have somebody color match you or swatch it on your skin and see how it dries down yourself. It feels lightweight. Like I don't feel like I have the foundation on, but if I were to touch it on my face, I don't feel like my face is moisturized. It feels a little bit on the drier side. In comparison, it did not feel like how the primer felt when I put it on. I feel like it covered up my skin pretty well, I guess. It gave me an even, you know, glow, even finish. The only complaint that I have, which isn't really a complaint because you can work around it, is that the foundation is a little bit on the drier side despite saying that it's hydrating and moisturizing. You can easily fix that by using a foundation primer that's moisturizing like the one that I used today, or using a setting spray that's moisturizing that's not a matte finish but gives you a dewy finish. The coverage of this foundation is really nice, and it better be if you're going to be paying $48 for it. So I don't have any complaints there. It kind of does look like a second skin. I don't think it looks too makeup-y. It doesn't look cakey at all. And it didn't make my skin perfect, obviously, because my skin isn't perfect right now, but it just kind of evened things out a little bit. Like I said, you can see my skin coming through, so it's not full coverage, but it's not like a light coverage either, which is similar to the Pro Filter foundation by Fenty, and also the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation by NYX. It reminds me of those two a lot. Like, it's second skin, like it's not cakey, but it still gives you some coverage so you don't walk out the house looking like a bum, because who wants that? Primer is a definite must for me. If you have dry skin, or you're on the drier side of the spectrum, or you just want a hydrating, moisturizing primer, I recommend this 100%. 100%. The primer was off the chain, off the freaking chain. As far as the foundation is something that's nice to have. I don't think it's a must-have for me. Not a lot of foundations are. I only have like one or two go-tos, but this could definitely go in the collection and I'll definitely use it. It's not bad by any means. It's definitely workable. It definitely looks nice, definitely applies nice. It's worth the money, definitely. And you know, it's my girl Laura. Laura always got something popping up in this, so Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And subscribe, because why aren't you already subscribed yet? Like, you came to the party, you ate my food, and you're just gonna leave without saying thank you, without subscribing? So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification right next to the subscribe button so you can stay updated with me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.